All right, so today I'm trying out something that's very ill-advised. Um, every time I watch like iceberg videos and shit, I'm like, oh man, I could go if this was the podcast or if this was a live stream, I could go off on this. And then I forget all about it the second I turn the video off. So what I want to do is I want to bring back Armchair Detective for videos in my backlog that are just in that sort of realm. I don't want to just expand this to everything, but in the realm of like creepy or weird or interesting iceberg stuff, things like that. Especially since like Valley Verde and everything have gotten a ton of views and a ton of reception. A ton of reception. I say that like this is a fucking production. You have the world's shittiest, and in fact, this is gonna freak out when I expand this. I just realized that. Whoops. What does that look like? Oh yeah, you can't see jack shit. Whoops. I'm gonna have to completely resize that. Oh yes, and of course, because I'm ADD, we're going to be playing a game in the corner. This is not the ideal experience to watch this video, but you know what? You should have supported the creator, okay? You should have watched that one first, idiot. Speaking of which, the video that we're watching today is by Guineax. It's called Everywhere at the End of Time Iceberg Explained. This was interesting to me because I know this album. I was one of the chuckle fucks who listened to all 7 hours of it. How long is it? I actually don't know. It's very good. It's very artsy fartsy. And I feel it's one of those things where it's like I don't know if I would recommend. I would recommend doing it. Going all the way through in one go as like a challenge. Do it as like a TikTok challenge because by the end of the 7 hours, you'll learn the lesson. it's like one of those like you can go into it like silly haha. Oh, I'm gonna listen to this whole thing and then by hour 7 you're like, oh fuck, like you learned your lesson, you went on the journey. Okay. But this is the iceberg, which I thought was interesting. There was a couple of things in the thumbnail of this video. I don't know. I never heard of this guy. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he's good. Maybe he's not good. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I'm just gonna play. I'm not gonna. Let's just go for it.
Everywhere at the End of Time is a six-part...
British, soft-spoken British people are a trope of iceberg tubers. I've noticed. Usually they're pretty good. So I'm gonna keep going. I don't know. That was of course I paused in the first 5 seconds.
In recent months.
I have to make my pay.
The fact that
okay.
It attempts to simulate the mental deterioration which occurs in.
I have to pause this every 5 seconds, or else they're gonna be like, oh, he's just stealing my views because he's just like watching the video with no commentary. But then if I do all commentary and I pause every 5 seconds, and people are like, well, just let me watch the damn video. No, go to Guineax's channel, which I'm definitely not pronouncing that correctly, especially now that I know he's British. Go to his channel and watch the damn video yourself. This was assuming you already pre-watched. Okay, I didn't pre-watch, to be clear. I don't know what this is going to be about. Well, I know what it's going to be. I know, like, Everywhere at the Edge of Time, what's his name? Kirby, Ivan Seal, Caretaker. I got it. Is his name Kirby? Where'd I get Ian Kirby? I just made that name just popped into my head. That might be like a serial killer. That might be a furry porn artist. I don't know. Is that not his real name? The Caretaker? Whatever. We're gonna go. It's probably on the damn iceberg.
The bizarre, unnerving
6:30. I was pretty close.
Nature of the album's concept and sound have inspired a plethora of
we are playing Minecraft in the corner. This
iceberg photo template has also done the rounds on the internet recently, used as a visual display of conspiracy theories or darker aspects about video games, music, and other similar.
Wait, what do we got here? For examples of icebergs?
Display of conspiracy theories or darker aspects about video games.
Video games. Okay, this is the Minecraft iceberg. China appeasement. Steve is a god. Air.og. Steve is in a coma. I'm not looking at
music
this.
And other.
This is the music one, I guess. Cows 2. Streaming personal memory experience across Tauren Plain, remembering jungle troll guild conversation. Okay, that's just That's just a World of Warcraft reference.
Other
It
similar
doesn't have
media.
anything to do with anything.
The two seem to complement each other perfectly.
This is not just the Chinese for like mail.
A Reddit user by the name of u/flimsy branches created an iceberg diagram of the various speculations.
Okay, hold on. Let me pre-watch by just reading this. Everywhere. Okay, skip to the very end. Everywhere at the edge of time is a computer's simulation of the mention. Get the fuck. I hate when the previews show up on the screen. I apologize for that. Everywhere at the edge of time is a computer's. There's a secret code in stage 3s. That was the one that was in the thumbnail. That was like, is there actually like coded messages? And of course, Ivan Seal is a very famous, well-respected artist. So I would be interested if there were actually like little pieces of stuff in the. I mean, I've looked at the covers are iconic. They're really iconic. I've never really looked too deeply into them, but it's interesting. Samples actual recordings of nursing homes
And information about the album which have emerged, with help from members of
and
the Caretaker
if you're new to icebergs, usually depending on who made them, it can just be like creepy theories, like, oh, what if the album covers are actual sculptures, or what if the blah blah blah, and that's it, or it can be like all real shit. I guess it depends. I got an achievement called Light as a Rabbit. Can we play the fucking video?
In this video, I will explain each theory in due course as we descend downward into the later levels of the iceberg.
I don't have a lot of time to watch this.
Timestamps are provided in the description.
He's got timestamps. Now this one's usually for like, I'm not gonna pause anymore. Usually for this shit, I have to pause. I can't focus on a video playing at the same time. Like if it's like an urban legend iceberg or some shit, you just skip the first 3 tiers because it's like, oh, Slender Man. Oh, I didn't know who that guy was. But this one's the niche ones are like you don't have to skip anything because they're really niche.
Level 1.
Like I don't know anything.
The contents of level 1 of the iceberg are relatively straightforward, if not tedious.
This has always kind of pissed me off about iceberg tubers, excuse me. If you know tier 1 is boring, why have it in the video? You know what I'm saying? Like just start it off. Don't start off with tier 1. Start off with just like an introduction of the concept. Like if you don't know what Everywhere at the End of Time is, let me tell you. And then that's your quote unquote tier 1. I don't understand why you need to do all this stuff. Also, I need to remember that this is the first Armchair Detective technically that I'm doing that I don't have a webcam for. So when I do my Italian hand gestures, you're not going to be able to see me.
Everywhere at the End of Time is about dementia. Everywhere at the End of Time is indeed themed around the gradual deterioration caused by dementia, and represents it in audio form. Everywhere at the End of Time samples 1920s ballroom music. The album most often utilizes slowed, reverberated, and distorted ballroom music from the 1920s to 1940s as a method of showing the loss of memories as samples become more distorted. Wax cylinders containing audio also occasionally make appearances, sometimes descending from before 1920. Each stage was released 6 months apart. The 6 smaller albums, which make up the larger Everywhere at the End of Time, are described as the stages of dementia's progression.
I'm schizophrenic. I got Mandela affected. I thought there was 7 of these. But I guess there are 6, because there are 6 stages of dementia. So I guess there would be. There's 5 stages of cancer, and then there's 6 stages of dementia, and then diabetes. There's 2 types of diabetes. But I guess there's a third one if you count people who aren't diabetic, but that doesn't really count.
The final 3 stages consist of only highly experimental noise music, coined the post-awareness stages. The Caretaker is Leland Kirby. Kirby is a British electronic artist who is...
Who's Ian Kirby? At least I got Kirby right. That would have been embarrassing if it was just like, no, you were just thinking about Kirby Air Ride for a couple of minutes. Now I'm freaking out. Ian Kirby's probably like a serial. He's probably in another one of these icebergs. I don't know. Or he's an LA Lakers power forward from 20 years ago. One of those.
It's made sound similar to Everywhere at the End of Time under the Caretaker moniker since 1999, with the release of selected memories from the Haunted Ballroom. He has also produced original music under his own name, as well as a handful of other releases under the pseudonym The Stranger.
I think all the album covers for everything he does is made by Ivan Seal.
These names also utilize long runtimes and experimental sound to create
really
immersive
good
experiences.
They cook. The two of them together, they cook.
Level
your
2.
Tier 1. Okay,
Level 2 begins to explore.
That was fair. That was actually what I said. That was exactly what I said. Of like, just level 1 is just the explanation of the concept. He actually did that, so good on him.
Some deeper themes of the album, as well as its equally surrealistic album covers. The last 5 minutes of Ever at the End of Time symbolize terminal lucidity. Terminal lucidity refers to a phenomenon in which sufferers of severe psychological or neurological disorders, such as dementia.
This got confirmed. Terminal lucidity got confirmed to be real, like really recently. Like 2 weeks ago, I think there was a study that came out where they I don't know what the exact measures of the study were, but they basically had cameras that filmed like these terminally ill patients to see if they would have moments of lucidity. Because the problem with reports of terminal lucidity is that a lot of people are like, you know, if it's your grandma, right? Part of you is hoping that like your grandma will come back, right? Not to be dark. I mean, we are on the Everywhere at the End of Time iceberg, so it's going to be a little dark. But like part of you is hoping that your grandma comes back, and so when you see her do something like, you know, pick up her favorite scarf, it's like, oh my god, she recognizes it, her scarf. And it could just be that like she's picking up the scarf because she sees it. So there was no way to like actually, there was always a rumor that it existed, but there was no concrete actual way to prove it. And so they filmed, obviously that's not like a experiment. There was an experiment part to this. You can't just like film 30 people's bedrooms and say like, oh, now it's proven. There was more to the study than that. But they were like, oh yeah, we are pretty certain that this terminal lucidity thing actually does exist, and we have no idea why it's happening.
Experience a brief return
now
of
watch him say literally everything I just said.
Clarity, or of more relevance here,
and I should not have positive
shortly before their death from the respective condition. And the concluding track of Ever at the End of Time, entitled R1 Stage 6 Place in the World Fades Away, the discernible sounds of a church choir are heard in the final 5 minutes, after several hours incoherent noise.
Hearing that, this is why I'm like, you have to experience the whole thing. Because just like just like how he's saying right now, 2 hours complete incoherent static before this, to the point where you're just like droning, like you can feel yourself falling asleep, and all of a sudden the choir hits. It's like top 20 peak moments in musical history.
Most likely a parallel to the terminal lucidity phenomenon. The last minute symbolizes death. The aforementioned track, which I'll now refer to as R1 for the sake of brevity, concludes with a single minute of silence, which is noted as representing the death of the dementia-suffering character.
Sorry, I can't get them to follows. I gotta get them to click on your channel. This has gotta be shittier than
the silence symbolizing the mind is now completely dysfunctional and dead.
I'm gonna turn this down.
The fact it relates to 1 minute of silence observed for the deceased at funerals.
Get it closer to
the album covers.
True? Yeah, that's just true.
Whose work explores similar themes to Kirby's. The pair are good friends.
They teamed up
and collaborated previously on
Persistent Repetition of Phrases
the audio and An Empty Bliss Beyond This World in 2008 and 2011, respectively.
There's the album cover. There's the one everybody knows.
Deterioration through paintings with
The Rock smoking a cigarette. It's so good. I have it as my wallpaper. I think you guys have seen it before.
They are impossible to identify.
And
listeners have often noted that the recognizability of An Empty Bliss Beyond This World's cover, in contrast to the others, parallels its music.
Facts.
Discernible, but still unsettling. Level 3. Level 3 explores the sound of the music. The tracks in Stage 1 appear more distorted in later stages. The 1931 song Heartaches, which famously appears in the opening track
song, right?
A1, It's Just a Burning Memory, shows up several times as the album progresses. C3, E2, F4, F5,
I'm thinking of Disintegration loops, right? That's all the same song.
C2, Misplaced in Time, which samples George Olsen's Lullaby
the
of the
9/11 one.
reemerges
That's the
in
one about
F2,
9/11. That will get its own
The
iceberg.
presumed effect is to create confusion and disorientation within the listener, as well as to make them experience the process of gradually forgetting something to dementia. E1, E4, E7, F6, and F7 are all in an empty bliss beyond this world. To avoid tedious listing, I've created a small table which correlates the tracks. Most of them are sampled from Russ Morgan's Goodnight My Beautiful, which appears in an empty bliss beyond this world as the track Live Its Delay. Russ Morgan
currently what? Oh shit! I'm watching your version, so I can't.
It is
see,
also notable that
see
the
everything.
iceberg incorrectly states that E7 sample, the prettiest little song of all, appears in an empty bliss beyond this world. E7 will be discussed in more detail later. E1 is 2 samples from the same song being played at the same time. Arguably the second or third most well-known Everywhere at the End of Time track, E1 Back There Benjamin plays 2 samples from Russ Morgan's Goodnight My Beautiful over each other to create an intensely disorientating track. The last 5 minutes are a track called Friends Past Reunited. The track appears second to last on the Caretaker's 2001 release, A Stairway to the Stars.
Okay, we're getting technical here. I don't have anything to say about this.
Minutes. Sans the Minute of Silence. It is not to be confused with another track of the same name featured midway through the Caretaker's debut album, Selected Memories from the Haunted Ballroom. Level 4. Level 4 explores significantly deeper aspects in
I will say the only thing that's bad about this is that kids starting... When this got popular, kids started making haunted ballroom type beats. And they're all cringe. I'm sorry, you guys didn't get it. Kids, I appreciate your attempts to understand finer art. But you didn't get, not yet. You're not quite there. But I can't. It's not cringe enough for me to stop you. I do want to encourage the process, but it's a little... Stop making ballroom music because you heard The Caretaker once.
More safely called theories begin to emerge. Everywhere an Empty Bliss
and
takes place.
Don't turn this shit into a creepypasta thing, Ivor. I've seen people try and like make this like creepypasta music. Go fuck yourself. I'm sorry, I had to say that. I've heard I've seen analog horror shit that will like for their creepy music, quote unquote, they'll just start playing Everywhere at the End of Time. I'm just like, that pisses me off. Fuck those people. They don't get any sympathy. If you're able to sort of understand the point, but you're just too young to fully appreciate it, that's another thing. That's like, okay, fair enough.
Bliss is the final release under the Caretaker moniker. This theory stems from the common interpretation of similar sound between the two stages.
Or having this music in what's the guy from The Incredibles? Like, he gets increasingly uncanny, and they play Leland Kirby beats. Fuck you.
As well as other similar aspects.
Fuck you.
Harsh noise is introduced several times on this record in a similar manner to Stage 4, notably through the inclusion of distorted vocals. The lack of joy in the sound, as well as loud distortion, also causes listeners to draw parallels.
He's not playing it. I wish he played the tracks that he was talking about as reference. It sounds like he's just playing the original music. They are harsh and awful if you hear them.
However, the most blatant reason the sound is similar is
he should have
scrapped.
No, Guineax, if you're watching this, you fucked up. You should have done every tier. Every tier it gets more and more harsh, just like the tiers in the actual album. Oh, that would have gone so hard.
Tracks from every
Man, we can't win them all.
With some containing identical samples to
I also don't know how many tiers this iceberg has. I think they usually have about 5.
Underneath the YouTube upload of Everywhere an Empty Bliss summarizes the album rather well. Quote, "Where an empty bliss beyond this world felt incredibly sad, this on the other hand is totally depressing. There is no fond reminiscence, no hopeful undertone, no warmth. It's distorted and fragmented to the point of no recognition. All those memories are all nearly eviscerated. It's like putting your ear against the door to the abyss and hearing it cry."
Okay, that ending was kind of cringe, but
Take care. It's
dementia.
It's the afterlife after Stage 6.
Oh, yeah, this
Take
is other
Care,
album,
To
right?
Dead It Out There is a 2017 drone piece by The Caretaker, released after Everywhere at the End of Time. Its sound is reverberated and ambient, often described as wind, but its meaning is far more important. The work is in memory of Mark Fisher, a famed writer and theorist, particularly in music, as well as a long-time associate of The Caretaker. It is now more obvious to discern why many respected listeners consider this to be Everywhere at the End of Time's true ending.
Oh, fucking no, there's no true ending to Dementia. There is no true ending to fucking Alzheimer's. Shut up. You stupid kids. I'm sorry. No, you like kind of got it, and you kind of got into it, and you just got like a little too into it, is what I'm gonna say.
Afterlife. It is also worth noting that there are 7 total stages of dementia rather than 6, so perhaps this gives more fuel to the theory.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, that clears up my Mandela effect that I had earlier. So I was right in saying that there are 7 stages of dementia. Yes. Okay, I understand. You fucked with me. That's what I thought at the beginning, and then I was like, well, now he has 6, so I guess there's 6 stages of dementia. Still pretty sure I'm right on 5 stages of cancer, and the 3 types of diabetes that could go either way.
Everywhere at the End of Time is the Caretaker itself getting dementia. Although this may at first sound like the most far-flung theory about the album yet, it is completely accurate, and Kirby would very much like you to know that.
Wait, is he? Oh, wait.
Project Dementia. It's a fitting epitaph for a finite series of works which has always dealt with memory. There shouldn't be any confusion, and it's not intentional if there is any, he wrote in 2016. Kirby had explored themes of memory by this point in equivalent fashion,
did say that,
such as the amnesia period from 2005 to
That is a little stupid,
Kirby himself has never actually been diagnosed with dementia.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
The crackles represent plaque building up in the brain, because crackles occur when dust and grime gets in the grooves of vinyl records.
That one's actually kind of smart.
In the brain is very common in
that's an actually pretty smart take. It would be. The crackles do represent plaque. That's actually really smart. I never thought about that. Okay. Give that kid extra credit. He passed. The Caretaker having dementia part, even if it's coming from Leland Kirby himself, that's still I'm gonna call that cringe. I'm gonna separate the art from the artist there, and I'm gonna call that one cringe. This take though is really good. I actually do appreciate this one. This one makes a lot of sense.
Dementia patients, often forming in the brain's hippocampus, the region responsible for memory. Kirby makes direct references to plaque in track names, such as advanced plaque entanglements, so this theory may hold more weight than others. Other than that, however, there is very little material to back up this theory, so this observation may simply be reserved for people wishing to enjoy a more perceptive listening experience.
You're gonna give that one less credit than the Caretaker has dementia. I don't know about that.
Similarly, other listeners have described that they like to think each crackle represents an individual neuron in the brain dying, in order to create more immersion.
That's a cool idea. Cool way of thinking of it, yeah. I mean, that's kind of how it works, is that they do just like kind of pop out of existence. It's like to give you a really gross analogy, it would be like popcorn in a microwave, except the popcorn kernels popping are your granny's neurons dissolving or exploding or imploding, or I actually don't know exactly what happens, but it's sort of like that, I think. Well, it's the amyloid plaques is what's actually going on. I am describing this as if I am some sort of dementia expert. I have no idea what I'm talking about. You need to stop listening to me. Play the video, please.
Level 5 descends further into the deeper meanings of tracks and more niche aspects of the album itself.
Yeah, you fucked up if
this is time is further degradation of selected memories from the haunted ballroom. While it is true both albums contain similar samples and sound, it is very clear that Everywhere at the End of Time is a completely separate project from these much older releases. The album covers are actual sculptures. This theory is perhaps the most far-fetched within the iceberg. It's just that Seal created each of the stage's surrealistic focuses in sculpture before rendering them in oil.
This is the one thing I actually want to know. No. I'm going to make a fool of myself. We're going to learn it later in the iceberg anyway. It doesn't matter. Wait, do you see my... I need to verify that you can see my cursor first. Oh, you can't see my cursor. Okay, never mind. First one, starting from the top left. It goes top left, middle, top right, bottom right. Okay, you got it? That one, number 1, painting, obviously. Number 2, painting, obviously. Number 3, it could only be a painting. I don't even know why you would think that was a sculpture. Number 4 and number 1, I don't know how you see that as a sculpture. Number 5, obviously a painting. I was always under the impression that 6 is a picture of a painting that Ivan Seal did. It was like what the original art was going to be for that album cover. And then Leland Kirby is like, no, because there's nothing in part 6. And so Ivan Seal was like, okay, what if we just don't even show the picture? So I think that one's a photo, right? That's a photo of the painting that Ivan Seal did, and then they like turned it around so you can't see it, which I thought was a really cool idea. I thought that was a photo. I don't actually know. Yeah, why would that one be a sculpture? That's just a photo of a picture frame. What are you fucking talking about?
The covers do showcase a sculpture-like form and presumed material, and people have attempted to render the various stages in physical form before. Plus, the process of creating sculptures with the intent of painting them is not an uncommon practice in the art industry, and it is clear Seal
like I said, well, I guess if there were like pre-existing sculptures.
However, there is more evidence in favor of this theory being untrue. Seal has never explored art forms outside of paintings and audio, and some of the stages are borderline impossible to give real-world representations of. How would one recreate the sprawling, distorted
well, actually, that one's really easy.
The focus of Stage 5's cover?
That one would be really easy. That was the one that I was like, there's no way that's a fucking sculpture. That makes more sense.
It is Seal's intention to create works which are somewhat recognizable, but create frustration and or melancholy within the viewer, unable to settle on a definite conclusion of what the
great
form
paintings.
Actually is. My takeaway from the
fantastic
information
paintings
is that the property
that
has
one's really nice. I never seen that one
being
before.
unable to sculpt.
Like that one could be a sculpture if you wanted to make it a sculpture. If you wanted to put in the work, that could be cool.
Alternate version of Stage 6's cover.
Yeah, this is what this is what I was talking about. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna let him say it. This is what I was talking about though. My example earlier.
Topic of the covers, Stage 6 has 2 alternate works which fulfill the position. The one cited on the original post, entitled Pfeiffer on Zangi, utilizes a tall, vaguely humanoid form as its subject. The other, entitled Klonsdrofa Drusla Rabesleru, is far more recognizable as a bouquet of large flowers.
What's that?
In fact, flowers are a frequent subject in Seal's works. Both of the alternate covers appear in the gatefold of the vinyl edition of Stage 6. E7 is
but sorry, I'm gonna pause you there. I think one of those, it was like, because obviously these are all like real paintings, right? It's not digital. It's real. He really painted these. This man really done painted. And so, you know, he gave those both to Kirby, and Kirby was like, no, I want something that experiences more of the emptiness. So I think what Ivan Seal did was that he took one of the, yeah, you can even see that's a photo of these. He took one of these paintings and just like flipped it around and took a photo of it, and that was what part 6 was.
E7 is an early childhood memory. The theory that E7, bewildered in other eyes, signifies a memory of childhood.
This is why I'm like, you need to play the music, because I do not remember what this is.
It's far more based on the sound of the track than anything else. E7 samples a 1910 audio cylinder entitled The Prettiest Little Song of All. Its high-pitched upbeat tones reduced to melancholy through
you should be playing it right now, because I don't
are most likely
know.
the reason behind this common childhood association. Here's a similar track from Everywhere in Empty Bliss to give you a better idea of the music.
Wait, you're gonna play this one but not the other one? I mean, he might play both. He might play both. Sorry.
Some have also harkened the sound to an ice cream truck, again supporting this theory.
The haunted
However,
ice
the
cream
track's
truck.
exact creative intention is still up for debate. A1 remembers a long-gone significant other. This claim, colloquially known as the love story theory, implies that the caretaker character had a loved one at some point which has since died, and their memory is prominent in the track A1, which is currently playing, and the others which sample it. This is because A1's sample, and the respective ones, Al Boli's Heartaches, appears so many times throughout Everywhere at the End of Time that many listeners assume the song's use was a deeper motive. Heartaches contains the lines,
"Your kiss was such a sacred thing to me."
So it sounds like literally every piece of ballroom music ever made.
It's just a burning memory.
These lyrics in the song
Oh,
about love
that's what the album's
form
from.
the basis of the love story theory. The sample appears as late as stage 4, supposedly signifying the caretaker's desire to hold on to the memory of the loved one. Level 6. Level 6
Oh, he's sort of doing it. This is later on, and this music's...
There's a secret code in Stage 3's album cover.
Yeah, what is this? Explain this one.
Stage 3 cover stands out amongst the other 5.
Oh, that's that one. Okay. Wait, hold on. Don't say anything. It says COPOL. It's telling me.
A subject, just a sprawl of erratic patterns resting in a murky green void. This theory suggests that some form of secret message is embedded within the cover, based on one standout phenomenon.
Okay.
When the colors of the Stage 3 cover are inverted, it bears a striking resemblance to synapses within the brain, albeit deteriorated. A brain with advanced Alzheimer's has similar.
Can you show me the picture again?
Again paralleling the cover. The holes and distortions of Stage 5 are also similar to the brain's form. These contrasts are still bound in speculation. It seems logical to assume that...
No, I don't think so. I think that's coincidental. That's like one of those things where if you told Ivan Seal that, he would be like, oh, of course I wanted to do that. Yes. Yes, of course I did. Of course that was on purpose. Yes, of course. I don't think it actually is.
Then it may have at least been a source of inspiration for Seal. Secret code is somewhat of an exaggeration, but this exact wording is uncommon outside the iceberg. Backmasking. Backmasking is a recording technique frequently used in music, where instrumentation, vocals, or other sounds are deliberately reversed and placed onto a track which is otherwise played forwards. Although this is sometimes used as a musically compositional element, backmasking is often used to hide messages in songs, resulting in many listeners erroneously giving lyrics to
Euphoria,
backwards audio
Kendrick Lamar,
of popular songs,
or is that's not
darker
hidden, so
or even satanic messages. These misguided interpretations are mostly caused by the brain's desire for context. When lyrics are equated to otherwise complete nonsense, it is common for people to mistakenly believe that the words are actually being uttered. For example, take this short clip of the reversed Barney and Friends theme.
Damn, reversed music is scary. He's right. What was this?
Objectively, the reverse lyrics are incomprehensible as English. Now watch this 2013 YouTube video which has amassed over 5 million views, giving this audio lyrics.
Oh. No, it was Barney. I don't hear it. We do revenge and suffer. I don't fucking hear any of this. And sushi? No?
Everywhere at the End of Time, meanwhile, contains no hidden messages. Well, vocally at least, but that's been discussed. But it does employ backmasking in Stage 4 onwards for melodic effect. The 2003 album We'll All Go Riding on a Rainbow and Ever in Empty Bliss do also. Samples actual recordings of nursing homes. Another far-flung speculation about the album's later stages is that some of the sounds are sampled from a real-life nursing home housing dementia patients, with a few iterations of the rumor claiming the sampled patients were listening to the album itself at the time. This is perhaps the only claim on this list that can be reliably written off as untrue, and was likely concocted as an urban legend designed to scare. It stems again from the final 5 minutes of Stage 6, in particular the sample of the human voice. As I mentioned before, it is collectively agreed that this sample is a choir of some sort, but its exact source is still undetermined. This theory may also draw from the infamous Hell Sirens, which appear in the H1 track
the
of
infamous
Time.
Hell Sirens.
Everywhere at the End of Time is a
Once again, if you told me, I'd believe you.
It is simulation of dementia and the degradation of memories.
If you played me the music,
the exact details of this particular theory are up in arms, but there are plenty of reasons to interpret the album in a way at least similar to it. Everywhere at the End of Time received a large glut of mainstream popularity from Can You Name One Object in This Photo? By Solar Sands, a video essay which has amassed over 2 million views. I also recommend it to everyone. In the video, he contrasts the disorientating nature of the titular image with the works of Seal and the music of Kirby, in particular Everywhere at the End of Time. He also describes an intersection between artificial intelligence, such as the one used to create the image, human mental experiences, and how future art could portray those experiences, including
is he saying that Solar Sand made up this theory, or is he just saying that people watched the Solar Sands video and was like, damn, what if it's a computer then?
This idea
it's not a crazy theory, by the way. It doesn't sound the computer degradation thing. I saw it. It's not a crazy thing. I just didn't have that much to say about it.
art has the capacity to simulate different mental issues that normally people would not be able to experience without all the long-term effects.
Oh, this got meta, by the way. I'm now watching Solar Sands through the sky.
It's caught my attention
through me playing Minecraft.
There could be something of an intersection between AI, human mental experiences, and how future art could simulate those experiences in a much more profound way than before, perhaps with AI assistance.
This video is likely to have been the launchpad of this theory. The theory may also descend from the aleatory nature of later stages. Aleatoric music leaves an element of its composition to random chance, and this concept is present in stages 4, 5, and 6. It is known that Kirby utilized computer programs to create the bulk of the horrifying harsh noise which appears in these stages, with some manual intervention, and hundreds of hours of sound were cut. My guess is that these two factors were pulled together to create this subset of ideas.
Okay, is that it? I think that was the last thing on the iceberg.
So there you have it.
There you have it.
The End of Time iceberg explained.
Yes.
I understand this was probably a bit more niche than my other videos, but I hope you still found some enjoyment in it nonetheless.
It was
Happy
good.
Holidays.
Guinea. Good work. Was it Gino? Ginex? Whatever. It was the longest album ever. Well, I definitely don't think it is the Fishman's live album, because that was live and people had to sit there for it. I think I'm gonna cut. I think I might try one more, but I'm gonna cut it there. I'm not gonna double up on these. I might record 2 in a row, but that's gonna be the Everywhere at the End of Time iceberg. I think this was a good first attempt at this. Maybe I'll rewatch it and just make sure that I'm not like being overpowered. I did pause a lot every time I was trying to say something actual, so I'll probably just check the audio here real quick, and then maybe I'll do another one. We'll see what happens.